How do you respond to injustice in the world? The way that we choose to respond or not respond to injustice, whether it's in our workplace or on a more global scale, will affect our life and the lives of many other people. And we see that in a particular way in the life of St. John Bosco that we'll be discussing today. John Bosco was a young man who grew up in poverty in Italy in the 19th century. And his lifelong dream was to become a priest. And once he was ordained a priest, he was serving in Turin, Italy. And it was there that he realized that many young people were feeling the ill effects of the Industrial Revolution. They were being exploited for labor. Oftentimes, their lives were being ruined. Many of them were working in inhumane conditions. And he encountered that injustice. He encountered that brokenness in his city that he was called to serve, and he decided to do something about it. He couldn't affect everything. He couldn't change all the laws and the policies, but he could start impacting positively the lives of young men and women. And so he began to form schools and places, houses of study, and places where they could come that were safe, that kept them from those people that tried to exploit them, that helped them to develop skills and learning to become the men and women that God had created them to be. And that gives us a great witness and example of one saint, one man who cooperated with grace in his own life and made a difference in the world, not by changing many people's lives at once, but by impacting the life of the young men and women that were before him, in front of him right then. And that's a witness to us as well. So when you encounter injustice, when you see brokenness in the world, how will you choose to respond? Will you ignore it? Will you just get discouraged? Will you just let it sadden you and tear you down? Or will you decide that you're going to do something about it? That you can impact at least one person's life, and impacting one person's life means that we can impact the entire world. As we encounter God's plan for our own lives, that He desires for us to be saints, to live lives that bring justice into this world, it's then that we recognize that we were made for glory.